recording. So whatever you say or do, it will be recorded. So FYI. All right, so here we go, young ladies. Thank you for attending. Glad to hear that we have so many young ladies here in attendance. And we are going to talk about well, she's not a young lady. We are going to talk about a well-known African-American singer. She was also a civil rights activist, and she goes by the name of Nina Simone. Has anyone ever heard of the name Nina Simone? If so, Ray, oh, wow. Cool. All right, exciting. Thank you. You can put your hands down. I appreciate that, girls. So for those of you that do not know who Nina Simone is, like I said, she was an African-American singer and also a civil rights activist, but she had many songs. She was a phenomenal jazz singer. But one of the songs that we're going to dissect today is one of my favorite Nina Simone songs, and it's titled Four Women. And the reason it's one of my favorite songs because it tells just such a vivid story that you can actually see it if you were to close your eyes and listen to this song. And I felt that this would be a great song to share with young ladies, young women, in an effort for them to hear stories of other women and then use their stories to make good decisions in their life. So that's my goal for you young ladies today, is to, for one, hear a phenomenal song by Nina Simone, and then two, take what you hear and learn from this song and then use that to help you make good choices in your life. Because I'll say this one thing I truly believe about young ladies and young women and girls in general. I definitely believe that you are stronger than boys. And I say that with pride as a young man myself. My daughter is one of the toughest people that I know. And I know as women, there are some things that you will have to go through in this life. And my job is to help build you up. So when you encounter those things, you can go right through them. All right. So with hands up, girls, are we ready?
Yes.
Woo! Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. All right. So here we go, girls. All right. So whenever I do a program with students, I always give an objective because I want you to know the purpose of us doing this. All right. I want you to know what I want you to take away from today. All right. So a couple of the things I've already mentioned. One, I'm going to introduce you to Nina Simone for those that do not know her. All right. We're going to listen and actually watch a video performance of her song Four Women. All right. And at the end of all this, I want you to be able to empathize, with each character by comparing their stories to your life. Now, Girls Inc., is there anyone that knows what the word empathy means? If so, I would love for you to raise your hand. And Miss Calhoun, if you could call on someone, that would be great.
Lachey. Empathy means you may not fully understand what someone is coming from, but you can understand their respect their perspective.
All right. Miss Calhoun, you said that was Shay?
Yeah, her Lachey.
Lachey. All right. Thank you, Lachey, because that was spot on. Perfect, young lady. When you can empathize with someone, you can understand what they're going through. You can make an attempt to feel how they're feeling. You can put yourself in their shoes. Okay. Notice I didn't say you feel sorry for them. Sometimes people confuse empathy and sympathy. Sympathy is more of, I feel for you. All right. I feel bad for you. All right. But empathy is, I understand what you're going through. Okay. And a lot of times people are seeking understanding more than they are you feeling sorry. So great. Thank you for that, young lady. And also, excuse me, I want you to gain an understanding of the fictional characters in each verse. And I want you to leave here empowered as young ladies and young women. I want you to leave here feeling better about yourself than you did when we got started. All right. So with that, let's get moving. All right. So here on the left, this here is a picture of Nina Simone. And like I said, she was an African-American woman, a jazz singer, a civil rights activist. I encourage you to actually look up some of her songs when you get a chance on YouTube. Has a lot of songs that were used during the civil rights movement. A lot of songs that you'll hear now during times when things that are going on in America or in the world now. Sometimes you'll hear her music in the background. So familiarize yourself with Nina Simone, phenomenal artist, and you can learn a lot from her music. So Miss Calhoun, can you hear me?
You can. Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna play this video, and if you can just tell me if it's clear and they can hear it. Okay.
Yep.
All right, here we go.
My skin is black. My arms are long. My hair is woolly. My back is strong. Strong enough to take the pain inflicted again and again. What do they call me? My name is Sarah. Sarah. My skin is yellow. My hair is long. Between two worlds, I do belong. My father was rich and white. He forced my mother late one night. What do they call me? My name is Sophia. My name is Sophia. My skin is tan. My hair is fine. My hips invite you. My mouth like wine. Whose little girl am I? Anyone who has money to buy. What do they call me? My name is Sweetly. My name is Sweetly. My skin is brown, and my manner is tough. I'll kill the first mother I see, because my life has been rough. I'm awfully bitter these days, because my parents were slaves. What do they call me? Aunt Sarah. What do they call me? Saffronia. What do they call me?
All right, let me turn my screen back on. By a show of hands, raise your hand if you enjoyed that video and that song. Man, yes, gives me chills every time I hear that song. One of my favorite songs. Girls at Girls Inc., can you make some noise and see if I can hear you?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. All right, so girls, the next thing we're going to do is we're actually going to talk about each character in the song, and then I'm going to ask you some questions. So I would definitely need you to participate. And Girls Inc., you can participate by just raising your hand, and Miss Calhoun and other young wit ladies that are working at Girls Inc., you can just call on someone and have them answer. For my other participants, you can just feel free to unmute your mic and chime in as you please. So, all right. So, can I have one of the young ladies at Girls Inc. read about the first character, Miss Aunt Sarah?
You want to read, Lachey?
Yes, ma'am. My skin is black, my arms are long, my hair is woolly, my back is strong, strong enough to take the pain inflicted again and again. What do they call me? My name is Aunt Sarah. My name is Aunt Sarah. Aunt Sarah.
All right. Thank you. You have a wonderful reading voice. Thank you. So, one of the things I want to ask before we move forward is there's a word in this stanza that I want to make sure we understand its meaning. Because one of the things when you're dissecting literature or anything for that nature, you have to understand the vocabulary. It changes the meaning. So, is there anyone at Girls Inc. that can tell me what the word inflicted means? And if not, that's okay.
Somebody's gonna take a guess. Presley. This
Okay.
It's a wrong answer. What do you don't know? You want to guess? What do you think,
When
Leah?
you reflect on yourself.
That means what?
When you reflect on yourself,
Reflect on yourself.
like you reflect what your actions.
Say it loud so he can hear.
What you reflect on your actions and stuff.
You know what? The word inflicted does sound like reflect. All right. So I do totally understand where you came up with that. But to inflict something means to like go through with it, to put it on someone. So in this case, inflicting pain again and again, that means causing pain over and over, inflicting it on a person, causing pain on a person. So to inflict something means that you cause something upon another person. All right. So in this particular case, they're talking about pain. But that's a great example of making sure we understand the vocabulary before we start trying to dissect something when dealing with literature. All right. So let me go to the next screen, and I want to start asking some questions. All right. So Aunt Sarah described herself in that last stanza, and I'm going to go back to that stanza. But here's the first question I have for you. Describe how you visualize Aunt Sarah. All right, so I'm going to go back one slide. All right, and I'm going to reread this. My skin is black, my arms are long, my hair is woolly, my back is strong, strong enough to take the pain, inflicted again and again. What do they call me? My name is Aunt Sarah. My name is Aunt Sarah, Aunt Sarah. So, young ladies at Girls Inc., if you close your eyes, can you visualize what you see when you hear those words about Aunt Sarah?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All
Yeah.
right. So, who would like to describe what they see when they think of Aunt Sarah?
Tell him.
She's a strong, independent woman that puts to help people to depend on people to survive. He didn't hear you.
She said she's a strong, independent woman that doesn't need the help of anyone else to survive.
All right. Wow. And young lady, how old are you?
11.
11. Wow. That's phenomenal for an 11-year-old to grab that from that verse, because that is true. One of the ways she describes herself is strong enough to take the pain. She also uses the word strong to describe her back. So my next question to you is, when she talks about her back being strong, does she literally mean like she has a strong back, like she can lift a lot of weight? Or is she talking figuratively, meaning she can deal with a lot of stress and a lot of things in life? Who would like to answer that question?
Keely.
She can deal with a lot of stress and things in life.
All right. Now, young lady, how old are you?
10.
Oh, wow. Girls Inc., you are impressing me today because that is correct. Her back is strong, but she's talking figuratively. All right. Her back is strong, meaning she can handle the struggles of life. All right. You girls are doing a great job. So let's move on down. All right. So, what characteristics helped Aunt Sarah survive? I actually wrote that wrong, but it should say, what characteristics helped Aunt Sarah survive? So, before we answer the question, remember we must first understand the vocabulary. So, who could explain what the word characteristics mean?
Presley. Say it loud so you can hear.
It means like how you act or um,
Somebody want to help her?
what did she say?
Maria.
I don't know. What did she say?
He said, what is a characteristic?
What did she say? Oh, I said
She
how
said,
you
how you
act. Oh, characteristic.
Yeah. What is a characteristic?
Characteristic means her personality and how she does in life, and yeah.
All right, perfect. Now, so the screen's really small. So, the young lady that just answered, are you also the young lady that started answering?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Because I was going to say you were on your way and you kind of gave up. So, whenever you're in.
She helped finish.
Oh, okay. Bingo. All right. Thank you. And how old are you?
11.
11. All right. So that is correct. A characteristic is something that describes a person, place, a thing. And personality, that is a characteristic. So let me go back to our verse. Who can share what characteristics are used to describe Aunt Sarah?
Anybody want to guess? Oh, the same people. What, Lisa?
She's strong enough to take the pain.
Oh, yeah.
Great.
No, Maria.
She can inflict it again and again.
Okay, thank you.
What else?
She don't care what other people think of her. So if someone says something about her, she just go ahead and just takes it and just kind of goes with it. She kind of ignores it and just goes with the pain that comes with it.
Okay, can I stop right there, Miss Calhoun?
Yep.
Okay, young lady, how old are you?
Me?
Yes.
13.
All right, 13. So what you just explained is not written in that verse. So how did you come up with that?
Because it says she's strong enough to take the pain. So it just kind of went with she doesn't care like how she phrases things and how people look at her.
All right. And you know what? The reason I stopped there, because that is the sign of a good reader, one that can infer what the author is saying without it actually being said. So you go, girl. All right. Spot on. All right. Next question. All right. Does Aunt Sarah remind you of any of the women in your family? And if so, how?
Rochelle. That one.
She has long hair, and people in my family have long hair.
Thank you.
Jillian.
She kind of reminds me of my mom because whenever something hits her or it hits like her family or something, she just ignores it and like tells us to like move on about it and like don't think about it. Like,
Thank you.
Lachey.
She has perseverance just by some of the things she went through. I just thought that was beautiful.
Okay, can I stop there? Young lady, how old are you?
I'm 13.
13.
Me,
All right.
14,
So
sorry.
for those that, how old?
I'm sorry, I'm 14.
14. All right. So for those that do not know what the word perseverance means, can you please share that?
Perseverance is like being able to go through something and then just kind of making it out pretty much. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you. I'll take one more, Miss Calhoun, if you have one.
Keely.
She kind of reminds me of my mom because my mom
Like whenever something bad happens, she always look on the bright side of the bad thing.
All right. Thank you, young ladies, for sharing that. And one thing I want you to do is all of the ladies that you just mentioned that remind you of Aunt Sarah, you also included positive characteristics about those ladies, whether it's, your mother, if they have those characteristics, make sure you try to emulate that in your life, because the things you just said about some of the women in your life were all positive. So it's good to hear you have someone that you can look up to in regards to those things.
And yeah.
She's sweet.
What's a quiz?
Danielle, you sleeping on me? All right. So here we go. Can you ladies see the screen?
Yes, sir. We can see it.
All right. So can I have someone to volunteer to read the story of Miss Sophronia?
Oh, Molly, you want to read? Okay, you can get closer if you need to see.
My skin is yellow, my hair is long. Between two worlds I do belong. My father was rich and white. He forced my mother late one night. What do they call me? My name is
Saffronia.
Close.
My name is Sophronia.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right. Wonderful reading voice as well. And yeah, her name is a little difficult to pronounce. So I totally understand that part. All right. So let's talk about Sophronia. Now, before we get into some questions about Sophronia, if you notice, her story is a little different than Aunt Sarah. All right. Her story is a little bit more intense, a little bit more aggressive. All right. So we're going to talk about that because I think it's important that as young ladies, that other women have had to experience some of these things, and just to hear how they persevered through, to use the word that I think Miss Shea had just used a second ago. All right, so Sophronia. Whoop, sorry. All right, here we go. So I'm going to read Sophronia. I'm going to read the verse about Sophronia again. And young ladies, I want you to close your eyes for a second. I should have asked that the first time. It's going to help you visualize this. So if you'll just do me a favor and just close your eyes and let me read Sophronia's story, and then I'm going to ask someone to share what they see as I read her story. So let me backtrack. All right, so all eyes should be closed. My skin is yellow, my hair is long, between two worlds I do belong. My father was rich and white, he forced my mother late one night. What do they call me? My name is Sophronia. My name is Sophronia. So now open your eyes. So who is courageous enough to share what they saw as I read about Sophronia?
Michelle.
That her like where it says her dad was rich, that maybe they lived in a really good house. Like if she had a lot of brothers and sisters, yeah.
Thank you. Anyone else? Thank you for that. And how old are you?
12.
12. Thank you.
And she just turned 12 today because it's her birthday.
All right. Happy birthday.
I see that how he forced her mother one night, and I see her story as how her mother went through tough things in the world, but how her mother got through it, she can get through it too.
All right. Great answer. How old are you, ma'am?
11.
11. All right. Great. Thank you. Anyone else? I'll take one more.
Somebody who hasn't had a turn that wants to share. Anybody? Aaliyah.
Just like what she said, like that she was forced, her mother was forced to do some things that she didn't want to happen, but then he was rich, but then she's sitting there kind of like the same woman and sitting there well, I can get through it just like her mom to get through it.
All right. Thank you. How old are you, young lady?
13.
13. All right. Thank you for sharing that. Once again, you made an inference there because what you shared was not written in the verse, but it was spot on. So thank you. All right. So, young ladies, a couple things I want to point out here in regards to Sephronia, because she's a little different when compared to Aunt Sarah, even in her looks. All right. Based on how she is described. So I'm going to read the first 3 lines, and I want to see if you can figure out what race Sephronia may be. All right. So my skin is yellow, my hair is long. Between two worlds, I do belong. So, based on those 4 lines, could you describe what race Sephronia may be?
Oh, Sarah.
Mix,
I'm sorry, Sarah, I couldn't hear you.
like mix.
Biracial, yes. She is biracial. All right. What in that verse, and Cameron, I saw your hand was up, so you can answer this one. What in that verse leads us to know that she is possibly biracial?
Because it says between two worlds.
All right, thank you. And who can, let's dive even a little further. Who can tell me what 2 worlds she is talking about? She's between 2 worlds.
Presley.
She's black.
They talk to him, not me.
She's black and white. Like,
I bet he can't hear you.
she's black and white.
All right. And Presley, how old are you?
11.
11. Thank you. You are right. She is speaking that she is having to deal with being black and white. And probably everyone on this call has a friend or knows someone that is biracial. And these are common struggles that some folks that are biracial may have to deal with because they are stuck in between 2 worlds. It may be a situation where something is going on and they're not sure where they fall. So that can be a stressful way to live. So I wanted to share this story for those that may be biracial or you have someone in your family that is biracial, so you can understand that this is something that they may struggle with. Now, not everyone, but this is something they may possibly struggle with. So good job, girls, on that first question. We have a couple more, though. All right. So do you think Sephronia had self-love? And I'm asking you to explain.
So you gotta explain.
Miss Calhoun, can I, before we answer, I did a bad job. I didn't dissect the question. Who can tell me what self-love means?
Who wants to answer that? Lisa.
She loves herself.
Yeah.
There you go. She loves herself. Who can give me an example of self-love?
Let me see. Jillian.
An example of self-love is like saying that like if you like look in your mirror like every day and like say you're beautiful, do your best and everything in your mirror. Because I mean, some people could use that, and because some people just don't feel that way for themselves. So.
All right, thank you. And Miss Jordan Kathy.
Also, like, a form of self-love is like respecting yourself and making decisions that'll make you happy, like, rather than other people.
Thank you for sharing that. Both of those are correct. Thank you for sharing that. Anyone else about self-love? I love talking about self-love. One more about self-love. Give me an example.
How just when you're doing like if you have a bad day, throughout the day you could give yourself compliments in your head, or tell yourself you can do this, or yeah.
All right, and girls, before I move on, let me say this. I love hearing young ladies talk about self-love because it's the foundation of you doing well in life, because there are going to be things that occur, things that are said that are going to try to diminish your self-love. So all of those things that you just heard, young ladies, I need you to do them. Look in the mirror. Remind yourself how beautiful you are. Remind yourself that you can do it. Respect yourself by making good decisions. All right. Because self-love is the foundation of everything. So I love talking about that. So great. Now, last question. Do you know anyone like Sephronia? And you can just raise your hand if you know anyone like Sephronia. I do. All right. So we have 2 verses left, and the time is ticking. I'm just having so much good time. The time is ticking away. So I'm going to speed up just a little bit. All right. So the next character, and Miss Calhoun, I'm going to ask that you choose someone older to read this one. Okay.
Well, Shay, you already read one. Aaliyah, you can read it.
My skin is tan, my hair is fine, my hips invite you, my mouth like wine. Little girl am I? Anyone who has money to buy. What do you call me? My name is Sweet Thing. My name is Sweet Thing.
Young ladies, I'm going to do the majority of talking about Miss Sweet Thing, and one of the reasons, and this is why I had, and young lady, what is your name?
Aaliyah.
Aaliyah. This is why I'm glad Miss Calhoun chose Aaliyah to read this. Aaliyah is a little older, and Miss Sweet Thing is in a position that many women are led to believe is all they have to offer, and that is her body. So this is one of the reasons I asked Miss Calhoun to, of course, have my 5th, 6th graders to 12th grade come, because I knew this verse was in here. And young ladies, the one thing I want you to take from this verse is to understand that you have a lot to offer the world. All right. You are intelligent. You are beautiful. You may be athletic. You have many talents. So do not ever allow the world to fool you into thinking you have nothing to offer. Because Miss Sweet Thing in this verse, and we are going to talk about it, she is showing that she has been led to believe that she has nothing to offer the world but herself. And young ladies, the thing about yourself, it is something that is so special and something that you should take care of. No one else should ever have anything to do with yourself, because that self-love is going to allow you to make decisions where you can do things on your own. All right. So I just wanted to share that before getting into Miss Sweet Thing, because that's more of for my older young ladies. All right. All right. So the first question, how would you describe Sweet Thing's self-esteem? Like, would you say she had a high self-esteem or a low self-esteem? Before you answer, let's dissect the question. What does the word self-esteem mean?
What you think about yourself as a person, and how you can put yourself down and high at sometimes, and it's your point of view at looking at yourself, and if you let people get in your head, your self-esteem will go low.
All right. And how old are you?
11.
All right. Thank you for sharing that. That was correct. All right. That is self-esteem. How you feel about yourself. You can build your self-esteem or you can break it down. Thank you for sharing that. So how would you describe Sweet Thing's self-esteem?
She had low self-esteem.
Say that a little louder.
She had low self-esteem.
She had low self-esteem. So thank you for that answer. How old are you?
11.
11. Thank you. So who would like to build on that answer and explain what is said in that verse that leads you to believe she had a low self-esteem?
Lachey.
I believe she had a low self-esteem because she needed other people to validate her body and her choices, because how she said, my hips invite you, and whose girl am I? And I just believe she needs other people to build that up.
All right. How old are you?
I'm 14.
14. Thank you. And that was spot on. One of the signs of a person that has low self-esteem is that they depend on others, or they allow others to guide their life. All right. They're not confident enough in self. So yes, that was a great way to use inference, or making an inference to determine her self-esteem. Thank you for that. All right. So next question, does Sweet Thing respect herself? And please explain your answer.
I do not think so, because she's wanting other people to see the way her body is shaped and the way she's like telling people the way her lips and her mouth and everything tastes like. And then she's sitting there like, well, if I don't like my body, then someone else might like it.
Yes, ma'am. And how old are you?
13.
13. Thank you for sharing that. And that was spot on. Young ladies, one of the things I want you to take from this and understand is that one of the things that the world is doing now, it's trying to trick you into believing that you have to display your body, that you have to talk about your body, that you have to place emphasis on your body to get attention. That is a lie. So please do not believe it, whether you see it in music videos, whether you see it on TikTok, whether you hear someone talking about it. That is a lie, because your body is something special and no one else has a right to that. All right. So don't feel like you have to display that in any manner to get attention, because that is the type of attention you do not want. So do not fall for that trick. All right. So next one, using foresight based on Sweet Thing's conditions, how might her life end? Now, before you answer, let's dissect the question. What does the word foresight mean?
What does it mean, Maria? What do you think?
Using the site that we learned about her.
You're muted.
You're muted.
Okay, so you got the sight part. What about for? Think about the word forward. So knowing forward, what do you think foresight is? Think sight and forward.
How does her future look?
How her future is gonna be.
Bingo, you got it. So foresight is basically looking forward into the future based on what you know. So based on what we know about Sweet Thing's life, how do you think her life might end?
What do you think, Lisa?
It's like bad because she's letting other people like see her body, and then maybe like when she, like in the past, she'll like probably get harassed.
Thank you for sharing that. How old are you?
10.
Thank you. For a 10-year-old, that's great. Period. Before a 10-year-old, that's phenomenal. So that is correct. Based on how Sweet Thing's life was described, using foresight, I would be led to believe that it's going to end bad, because like we've all agreed is that she's allowing other people to guide her life. And young ladies, whenever you do that, most of the time it ends up bad, because no one knows what's best for you more than you when you get to that age. All right. When you're an adult, that's what I'm speaking of. All right. So by show of hands, without mentioning any names, please, do you know of someone like Sweet Thing? And before you answer, this is what I mean. Do you know someone that appears to have a low self-esteem, a young lady that has a low self-esteem about herself? Okay, so I see some hands. So the next part of that question is, if so, how can you help her?
You might want to answer that has an answer.
You can like try to like get her to like try to get her to tell herself that she's beautiful and that she's awesome and that she's pretty and that she's special in her own ways and everything.
All right, and how old are you?
I'm 11.
11. Thank you for sharing that. That was correct, and you said some great things. Anyone else?
Eleni.
Encouraging her to keep like moving forward and stop being negative.
Say that a little louder for me, young lady.
He didn't hear you.
Encouraging her to go forward and not think negative.
All right, how old are you?
11.
11. All right, Miss Calhoun, I can take one more.
Let me see. Anybody else that hasn't answered at all? Maria.
To talk to her, not just saying she's beautiful, but talk to her emotionally and how she's feeling as a young woman, as in color, and how she's being and how she's feeling emotionally.
All right, and how old are you?
11.
11. We got a lot of 11-year-olds. Thank y'all. And look, all of those things are correct. But here's the thing, young ladies. This is what I challenge you to do. Those wonderful things that you just shared, I want you to actually put those things into action, because I guarantee over the holiday season, you're going to run into a young lady or even a young man that is showing they may have a low self-esteem. So the things that you just mentioned that you would do to help Miss Sweet Thing, I need you to actually put those things into play, and I need you to help the people that are in your real life. All right, because the things you said would definitely help someone that's dealing with low self-esteem. So great job, young ladies. We are almost done. We got about 15 minutes. All right, so
Calvin.
the last character.
Calvin, can I interrupt you real quick?
Yes, ma'am.
Actually, the weather is not looking so good. So we're actually my van riders, we're gonna start our van runs. So I'm gonna some girls are leaving. There'll still be some girls in here, but some girls are gonna leave out of here.
Okay. And what go ahead and do what you got to do, Miss Calhoun. And then this is the last one, and I'm gonna shut it down. Okay.
Got it.
All right. So, young ladies, for the sake of what's changed, I'm gonna read this and go through the last one. Yes, thank y'all for coming. I appreciate it. Get home safely. Well, hold on, Miss Calhoun.
Thank you.
All right. Okay.
In here, but
yes, I'm still here.
It's quite a few right now.
Well, y'all get home safe. Y'all make sure y'all get home safe.
Amanda, can you move over?
Yeah, these gorgeous people are still here.
Okay. All right. So, girls, hey, it's just us, and then I got family. I got family in here. So we just gonna finish it out strong. All right. I'm gonna go through quickly. So you girls can get home too. So the last person that was mentioned in Four Women by Nina Simone was Miss Peaches. Now, my three girls at Girls Inc. Is there anyone that would like to read that? Do you know how to unmute?
Yep.
Okay.
Amanda, you want to read? Amanda, you can read.
Okay.
Come closer if you need to see.
My skin is brown. My manner is I'll kill the first mother I see. My life has been rough. I'm awfully bitter these days because my parents were slaves. What do they call me? My name is Peaches.
All right. So for sake of time, we're not going to go through the actual questions, but I'm just going to ask you a couple questions about this verse. So the word manner, all right, means how you do something, you know. So she's saying her manner is tough. So when she speaks, it's probably a tougher tone, you know, how she carries herself, how she walks. She just has a manner that is tough. All right. So based on the verse that you just heard, girls, why do you think Miss Peaches was angry?
Because her parents were slaves and she's always had awful days when she was young.
Thank you. And how old are you?
I'm 10.
10. Thank you. Great answer. And that is correct. All right. And that sums up her verse. As simple as that sounds, that sums up her verse. She is bitter because she is from the parents of slaves. And if you know anything about slavery, then you know the children of slaves in most cases were also slaves themselves. And if they were not slaves, then they witnessed what their parents endured. All right. So I'm quite sure, based on this verse, that her bitterness is coming either from what she has experienced as being a slave herself, or having to witness what her parents had to endure as being a slave. And we're going to skip that, girl. So, girls, this was actually, I know I skipped a couple of slides, but I wanted to come to the end because my main concern is that you girls are safe, and I want to make sure everybody gets home safely. All right. So I'm just going to read this, say a couple of words, and then we are going to move on with our weekend. But first of all, thank you, girls, for attending. I hope that you are able to use these stories. And they are fictional characters, of course. So remember, these are stories that we call them realistic fiction, meaning they're made up stories, but they could actually happen to someone. All right. So these are realistic fictional stories. All right. In Nina Simone's song, Four Women, and I hope you're able to use our discussion today to use foresight to make good choices in your life. So when you run into some of the people that you mentioned as we talked about these characters, I want you to do some of the great things we discussed. When you run into some of the obstacles that some of these fictional characters ran into, I want you to make decisions based on some of the great things that we discussed. All right. So with all that being said, young ladies at Girls Inc., show your hands if you had a good time. Okay. All right. Now, my other attendees, I appreciate you having your camera off. It helped the video run smoothly, but can you hit the hand icon if you enjoyed yourself? All right. Okay. All right. Or you can turn your camera on and wave at me because I'm recording this. I would love to see a face. Okay. I get a Miss Hanley. I got a wave from you. I'll take it. Miss Kathy, you gave me a wave. Miss Jordan, I see your face. Miss Cameron, can I get a wave? So if y'all didn't know, Cameron Brooks is my daughter, and she's the only one that did not wave. Okay. That's all right. So I know it's okay, because I know I got love from the Girls Inc., right? Yeah. So with all that being said, I hope everyone has a great weekend. All right. And God willing, we'll see each other again soon. Until then, be safe and enjoy your holiday, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you for the program.
All right. You're welcome. I'll be back.
Have fun.
All right.
Happy holidays. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah.